The next guy I have to talk about, perhaps the first running back you're going to draft amidst this list here, is you guys probably know it because I have all I love here. I'm just finding him in my notes here. Oh man, it's none other than Mr. Tony Pollard. Going to the absolute moon here. Ezekiel Elliott released. Tony Pollard is going to smash. Unlimited ceiling, top 5, well within his range of outcomes. Let's break it down. How damn good has he been without Ezekiel Elliott? Only 3 games. Tony Pollard averages 28.9 fantasy points per game in those 3 contests that he has played without Zeke. His pace would be 1,785 yards in addition to 521 receiving yards, so over 2,200 total yards from scrimmage, as well as 2 rushing touchdowns per game, 34 touchdown pace on the season. I mean, come on. We know that's not going to sustain, but I think we have a real shot at a top 3 season here because last year, only 1 game without Zeke, but that really prompted the team to hand over the backfield keys to Tony Pollard. And from week 8 onward, he scored 246 fantasy points on only on the season rather. He scored 246 fantasy points on only 242 opportunities. We already know he is that insanely efficient. The 7th most fantasy points in the league on the 19th most opportunities. He's always been insane. He's actually only one of 9 running backs that average more than 1 fantasy point per opportunity. And the only ones ahead of him, Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift, Austin Eckler. Just insane efficiency. But looking at that stretch when the keys were handed over to him, weeks 8 through 14, his averages, 258 attempts, 1,470 yards, 20 touchdowns over that span once he truly took over. Now, that's the ceiling. There are definitely some roadblocks here, so I can't ignore them. One, the fact that he broke his fibula last year. He is expected back for camp. He's ready to be, ready to go. This is a little bit less concerning than your typical, knee tear, something that you have to rehab, strengthen the muscles around it. It just has to heal, and he should be good to go. But the other big risk here is Jerry Jones continues to hint at adding a running back to take away from Bijan. It's like a Bijan Robinson, a Jamar Gibbs. He keeps hinting at that. We love our early round running backs. And I wouldn't put past Jerry Jones at all to make an idiotic plunge like that to franchise Tony Pollard and then take a first-round running back anyways. They also did lose Kellen Moore, which I do think is a downgrade. I mean, they lit up the scoreboard with Kellen Moore to the point that he got fired for lighting up the scoreboard too much, according to Mike McCarthy. That already tells you about the old archaic philosophy that this guy prescribes to. I don't like that much. However, he did say, I want to run the damn ball so I can rest my defense. He then goes and hires Brian Schottenheimer. If you've been playing fantasy for a long time, you'll know Brian Schottenheimer as the guy that would never let Russ cook. Maybe that was a smart decision given what we saw with Russ last year. That's not here nor there. It's another time or place. But Schottenheimer has consistently ranked top 5 in rush attempts, top 5 in rush yards. He does coordinate often to the detriment of the overall offense. He still coordinates a very good run attack. While he was the Jets, he even had some pretty solid attacks on weaker overall offenses. So, yes, losing more, a little less explosive in offense, maybe less scoring touchdown opportunities, but I imagine the volume is going to continue to go up for Pollard. Anytime he's played over 50% of the snaps, he's scored 20 fantasy points. The guy's a monster. I love Tony Pollard, love the player. Absolutely think he should be a fringe first rounder next year, depending on, again, what happens in the draft, how that injury recovery is going. You have to track those 2 notes. But in these early drafts, I'm hammering him right in the middle of the 2nd round. Huge, huge fan of Tony Pollard. I think he goes to the moon without Ezekiel Elliott. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments. Check out some more videos and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.